Hey you guys! So this video is going to be a mixed bag of topics. I just feel like talking a lot today. So first I'm going to share with you my flying abilities and advancements in the dream world. And then I'm going to share with you all of the dream vitamins and medicines that I take to help me dream that are pretty effective. And then I'm going to share with you just thoughts and insights in general from all the experiences that I've been having. All right, so here goes. So, my life has been pretty good lately. I've been waiting 31 years for this. But I feel pretty good about the path I'm on, and I feel very stable in my life and in myself in general. So I think this has been translating in the dream world, and I've been having more control over my flight. Because usually I use my flight to run away from people or situations. Like, you got a whole city and there's a giant flood raging through and cyclones, and I'm flying away from it, or I'm flying away from enemies, or I'm clumsily jumping into the air and just bouncing up. Like, I'm not really having great control over my flight. I'm hiding all the time and running away, which is really ironic because it's a superpower, right? And I'm just using it to run away. I'm not aware of my own powers. Um, but the other day I flew in a style I call Magneto, because Magneto just stands up upright and just floats around. And I just stood up on the ground and I put my arms behind me like a penguin, and I shifted my hands and I just flew straight up in a steady manner about 100 feet up into the sky, and it was really calm and I wasn't all freaked out in my stomach. It didn't feel scary. It was just very controlled, and I was just floating above looking down, and I was so proud of myself. So I felt very confident in that dream, and I felt very confident in my waking life, so it translated. And then the other week I had a new flying technique that I did. I made up the name and I called it hover skating. So I jumped up in the air and I floated about a foot and a half above it, and I just skated while hovering above the air. So it was kind of like the way a hockey puck hovers on top of an air hockey board, or those long-legged spider mosquito crane fly looking things that just skate along the pond's surface. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah, I really feel like how I am in the dreams, it's correlated with how my waking life is. So now I've been really focused on healing, grounding myself in my waking life more than just focusing on diving into the dream life. I actually haven't been entering actively into a lucid dream from a waking state in a while, because I'm just wanting to let it occur naturally, which it has. I've been traveling every single night, having really long and wonderful experiences just naturally. I mean, I take magnesium every night here. This is what I take right now. Just magnesium. It relaxes your body, and it just, it's good for you. It prevents you from getting sick. So that's just all I've been taking right now consistently. Well, this leads me into all the things that I've taken. And just to preface, whenever I take a dream medicine or vitamin, I like to detox my body, because I've had experiences where I have been stressed and I'm not ready to relax, and the vitamin actually makes it worse. So I like to, eat well that week, not drink coffee, not eat bad food, and then I'll allow myself to experiment with a dream vitamin or medicine. You saw the magnesium. I used to take melatonin, which made me so relaxed, but then someone told me that if I took melatonin all the time, I wouldn't be able to produce it in my own body naturally, so I stopped taking it. And now I just work out and I stretch and I take magnesium, and that gets me pretty conked out. So this was one of the first dream vitamins I took. It's called valerian root, and on this bottle it says traditional sleep aid, and it's a dietary supplement. I find this naturally in the forest, and I make it into a tea. It's really gentle. It's just used as a sleep aid, but for me personally, it gives me really effective, long, lucid dreams. I really love it. On this bottle, it says to take 3 capsules, which I've taken 3 capsules at once, but now I just take one. I'm a lightweight. So this one, the serving size says 3 capsules, and the valerian root on this bottle says 1.59 grams. Yeah, you can find this at any store. And I'll take it like 3 times in a row, and then I'll stop, and I'll be like, okay, I know what that feels like, and then I'll try to do it naturally through meditation or through my lifestyle, my diet. All right, so the next thing I've taken, which I've only taken like 3 times because it works so well, is this one's called Ethereum Gold. And on the bottle, it says for focused brain, promotes brain function, and it's a natural monatomic mineral. And the brand is from Harmonic Enterprises. I found this on Amazon. It was recommended by abductee Tony Rodriguez, who also lucid dreams, and he said that this gave him the longest, most effective lucid dreams, and he was right. When I took this, I was in such a long dream. I was very lucid, and it was very, very effective. It took me like a few weeks before I took it again. See, like when these things work too well, then I get freaked out. Then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to keep on doing it because I don't want my brain to be worn out. Because what this does, it enhances your brain connections, like all your neurons firing, connecting with each other. And you don't want to burn it out. So he actually said that too. It's like he'll detox for a few weeks, he'll use it for a week, and then he'll stop and not use it for another few months. So the second time I used it, I felt wired as if I had taken a shot of espresso at night. And I remember that day, it was because I was really stressed out. I was eating crappy all week, and I just decided to take this. It was the wrong decision. So I waited like probably another 8 months to a year before I used it again, and it's very, very effective. You have to be in a calm state physically, mentally, emotionally to take these dream medicines. You know, you can't work against yourself. These are to enhance what your state is. This one, shungite, worked really well. So usually shungite, it's like the special meteor rock that is very rare. I have elite shungite that I bring with me to protect myself from Wi-Fi radiation. You can put it in your water to filter your water, but these are in pills, and I've only taken 3. So the first time I took it, I had the craziest dream ever. I actually dreamt this long adventure, and then the dream started over, and I dreamt it again, but from the perspective of another character in that dream. So really trippy stuff. I never even imagined I could do something like that. Scared the heck out of me, so I didn't take it for another year. And I don't remember having anything too crazy with a dream the next time I took it, but shungite is powerful. It cleanses your body, it detoxes your body. All right, so these are 2 bottles. This is Huperzine A from NutriCost, and this one's theanine serine with Relora from Serene Science, and I just got these from my local health food store, Sprouts, if you guys have that in your area. I found these from another dream YouTuber named Akvila Sava, and she's a really talented psychic and crazy lucid dreamer. She actually recommended another brand called Lucid Escape, and I didn't buy that brand, but I took the ingredients off of it and I searched for my own bottles because I was too impatient to wait for the shipping, and I didn't want to pay for shipping costs. So I got these. Huperzine is like from some sort of moss, and this bottle says it has magnesium, GABA, which is gamma aminobutyric acid, taurine, L-theanine, and Relora, and holy basil leaf extract. So all naturalish things. uh, gave me super long lucid dreams. These help you with your memory function. So I was present during my dreams. I remembered everything, as much as one can remember. Like, I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday, you know, like you forget that, but like just how normal memory works, like this works really well. So this one I use for like a week, like every day in a row, 3 times a day, and it's a spagyric. So what a spagyric is, it's alchemy. So the whole plant is used. Like this one is the pinon pine needle, twig, resin, cone, and pollen from the plant. So what they do is they extract the essence from the plant with alcohol, so like a tincture, right? And then they take the plant and then they burn it so it becomes an ash, and they incorporate the ash back into that tincture. So the whole plant is used, and it's really strong. Read up what a spagyric is. It's hard for me to explain, but you've got to be trained on how to make this. It's really hard. Like I can't make this, so I bought it. I saw this in an awesome organic restaurant. I got it, and whoa, it works so well. So this brand, I don't know how to say it. It's Keji Wa. I trusted the restaurant, so I tried this out. It's delicious. It's pine. And I just put it under my tongue, a few drops with like a loving intention, connecting with your heart and your third eye. And this like exploded my third eye. I was coming up with so many ideas. You know, I'm working on a few projects right now, and I just had to stop taking it because ideas kept flowing. And I'm like, I just need to stop with the ideas. I need to complete what I'm doing right now before I move forward. This is so beautiful. This works so well. There's other spagyrics under this brand for different things and connecting with yourself and the universe. But this is the one I use. Pinon, I'm sorry. Whatever that is, pineal. Works so well. And I used it in conjunction with this one that I found in the store. It has the big words dream on it, and so that attracted me. It is a sleep aid, third eye tonic, and lucid dreaming elixir herbal supplement by Anima Mundi Apothecary. And this one has all sorts of goodies on the back. Natural herbs like ashwagandha, kava kava, passion flower, ginger, skullcap, blue lotus, rose, and Kaliazaka Techichi. I'm saying that so wrong. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that, but it's just an herbal supplement. I had really wonderful dreams and soul messages when I had these. So yeah, so that's some other tinctures. And remember, I'm not taking these all at once. I have tried these in the past few years. I'm mostly just taking magnesium every night. I have started drinking tart cherry juice, and I feel like that works really well. I've heard oranges work well because they have vitamins in them that help you just relax and dream, and I've heard the same thing with tart cherry juice. So I drink organic tart cherry juice and magnesium, and that usually does the trick. I have lavender oil. I think I've trained my body to just fall asleep when I put this on my forehead and my neck and my wrists. It just smells so good. I feel so good. And something else I just started using is frankincense. So I have these resin frankincense, and frankincense and things like rosemary really awaken the memory part of your brain and help you remember your dream. And I got this cute little burner. I don't know what the official name for it is, I'm sorry, but I just found this at my health food store. You have to get these quick burning charcoal discs, and then you just burn that and you put this resin on it. And then I like putting incense and Palo Santo shavings and sage shavings on it to make it extra. And you just put the cap on, and all the smoke just flows through, and that smell of frankincense helps you with your memory. And I don't know how much that one has helped me. I have crazy experiences every night, but it just sets the mood, you know. I really like it. All right, so that's everything that I have taken. It seems like a lot. All right, so if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Again, please research. Just trust the brand that you're using, and be detox, be mentally clear and calm before you try this, and drink lots of water. I take all of these probably half an hour to an hour before bed, and I make sure I've eaten a few hours before bedtime. So now I'm going to talk about the experiences I've been having. So first of all, my dreams have started becoming more like my waking life. So my waking life is full of learning and teaching right now. I mentioned in my introductory video that I'm a professional student. Yes, I'm obsessed with learning. It's how I have fun. I'm a huge nerd, and I just don't feel like I'm living my purpose if I'm not moving forward, learning something new each day, or working on a project and moving forward on that. So I guess naturally I just share things. So I guess that's called teaching. So in my dreams, I'm either learning or I'm teaching. I'm very cognitive. Like I can just think a whole conversation in my brain just like I'm awake. So what that tells me is that I feel like I'm getting stuck in thought form. So either there's like a dream ray out there shooting dreams at people, like maybe the internet has waves that we pick up on. Like if a radio can pick up radio waves and you can hear songs and the internet is all connected and through zeros and ones, like we get all this information from the internet, Wi-Fi, then how is it affecting our brains and astral realms when we are sleeping? Like maybe we're just ingesting all of this thought forms of random stuff and just kind of riding the waves of all of those different stories. So that's what I feel like is happening. Like it's a mixture of my own psyche and memories and then just a bunch of random stuff. So in a past video recently, I concluded that, yeah, I'm just like a radio tuning in to a bunch of random stations. I'm living them in my astral experiences, really feeling them, but I just have to wake up and decide what I actually want to do, because the astral realm is a creative playground. You can wake up and do whatever you want. You can learn something, you can create something. You just have to wake up. So I've been experiencing so much every night that when I wake up, I do have to be like, oh wow, I'm Lana. It really feels like, that Drew Barrymore movie, 50 First Dates, where she wakes up every day and then her boyfriend has to make her fall in love with him again every day. That's kind of like me, but I remember everything. I just have to remember for a moment that, like, okay, this is my life. Because I was doing so many things in my dreams, like I wasn't focused on my waking identity. I was doing all these other things, had all these other objectives, was in other realms doing metaphysical things. And then I'm back in this body and having to remember all of the drama of this body. So that has me thinking, like, how do you know what's you and what's not you? We're just made up of stories, and when we're awake, we're just following all of these other stories. Like if you're just spending time watching the news every day, you're just watching someone else's story, whether it's written, if it's real or it's fake. It's just someone else's story. Yeah, you watch the news so you can like watch out for things, but like think about the past few years and really see what the news has really done for you and what you could have been doing instead. Like I just feel like it's all a distraction. All these other stories, there's just so many things trying to take away our energy right now, and I really feel like the planet is changing. I'm having so many experiences every night, and they're good, they're wonderful. I'm laughing so much, I'm having so much fun, and I feel like when I want something, like in my waking life, it's happening faster and faster. So I feel like the manifestation energy has become shorter and shorter, and we're becoming stronger and stronger. So I really feel like right now they're trying to distract us with as many ideas as possible. And if you think about it, when you're born into someone else's dream. Like your parents, if they're abused and they're not full and healed in their shadow sides, they're trying to push their dream onto you. Like you're being born into someone else's life, and they have their own idea of what a healthy, successful life looks like, and they're trying to push it onto you. You're starting off against the current, because instead of your parents nurturing and trying to discover your natural self and the abilities that you were meant to nurture, they're trying to mold you into something that they have inside their head instead of you being you. That's my story. I wasn't validated for who I actually was for a long time, so I was very confused and I was just following their idea of what they wanted me to be. Typical Asian story, right? You know, we're really powerful beings. What we think, we manifest. That's why they're trying to distract us all. And we have the power to stop the generational trauma. You can change it, you can heal it by living your own life and doing what you really want to do, because this is the age of manifestation. This is the age of creating whatever you want your dream to be instead of living someone else's dream. We say those words all the time and the meaning just gets lost. The reality of the meaning just gets lost. We're dreams within dreams in our waking life and in our sleeping life. If you think about all the influences of how social media affects you, like for me, if I'm talking about thought forms and getting stuck in dreams, like that's just one thing, but I notice myself getting stuck in thought forms in my waking life too. Like I'm scrolling on social media. There's a person who has like a beautiful family, this cool job, and this cool car, and these cool outfits, and then suddenly I'm envious. But then I'm like, wait, I could have that if I wanted to, but I don't want it. But it's weird because just because you see someone else having positive experiences, you just instantly react and you're just constantly reacting. And then I have to catch myself saying, like, wait, I could do this XYZ if I really wanted to, but my life is like this because I want this, I don't want that. Social media is just such a game. Like, they know what they're doing because it's just highlights. You know, it's curated highlights, and you don't see the struggle behind something, because when you know the struggle behind something, the amount of time that something really takes, you don't feel that way. You're just like, oh, okay, well, they're successful because they worked their butt off, you know, but it took them 20 years, but you never know that, you know, or they have financial backing, or they're a trust fund baby, but you would never know that, you know. So social media is a huge thought form. You're scrolling through 100 different thought forms and other people's stories and dream worlds in 30 seconds. So, yeah, they've got you hooked in many different ways. They've got me hooked in many different ways that I'm recognizing, you know. If it's not the news, then it's social media. The next trend, right? They make the trends. They make it up. And then we just follow it. Like, half the trends aren't even attractive, but they make it up, right? Okay, so there's my spiel about that. All sorts of thought forms. Something that's been happening to me is that I'll wake up in the middle of the night and realize that, wow, I'm me, and this whole room is just filled with my consciousness, and no one else can be me. And I've said this tons and tons, but it's such a profound feeling, and it's just so otherworldly. I almost feel like I'm on the fence between life and death. And it really feels that way when I wake up every day, coming from different identities and thought forms, and then just coming into this continuous identity as Lana. I really feel like I could die at any moment. And I actually felt this way the day my grandma died. Like, she's in another country, she was in Vietnam, but I felt like the doorway of death, you know, this doorway, this thin veil between the living human world and then this astral death world just looming over me, like hanging around everywhere. So I was like, oh, like I felt that thin veil, that portal between two worlds. And that day my grandma passed, you know, she's in a different continent and I felt it. But I've been feeling it more around me all the time. And it doesn't feel like I'm going to die, but I just feel my spirit very clearly in this body, and just feeling very alive. You know, it's strange because people who have near-death experiences, they're so happy to be alive because then they feel like they're embodying this body. They feel so grateful that they're still existing as a human. And I think the feeling of feeling alive is very close to risk and the feeling of death and not being a human. That's why people are like adrenaline junkies, right? You do something really dangerous to feel alive when you're very close to death. So just with all my dream experiences, it makes me feel really, really alive, but also in a way detached from the social norms. Like I'm very social in my job, but I'm kind of a hermit. Like I love to read, I love learning. I could spend tons of time alone. I actually recharge by being alone. And being with people mostly drains me if they're wanting my energy, but there's very specific people that I get energy from, but I mostly recharge by being alone or being in nature. I feel my spirit very clearly, so it's hard to navigate in this world when you just feel like an avatar all the time. Like when you're just in a video game playing The Sims and you just have a cheat code and you don't feel committed to all of the video game commitments like a video game job, going to the job every day, or the things that they care about, their trends. More recently, I felt the sacredness within it too. I've been connecting with the earth, been learning how to identify plants and work with them, how to learn how to live in the wild, basically. Like, it's exhilarating. I don't think we're meant to push buttons. This is why we're addicted to fidget spinners and popping things, and we're just texting and typing all the time. We're pushing buttons. We are so good at pushing buttons. But I learned how to use a knife and carve sticks. I'm left-handed, so like I've been doing things terribly and backwards my whole life. But just using a knife and learning how to carve was exhilarating for me, and I think we're meant to do a lot more with our hands, and to really connect with nature and know what that feels like. Before, I was just trying to leave the planet astrally, and I don't think that's it, because I was having blockages to advancing in my lucid dream life. But once I started grounding myself more in the physical life, then that's when things literally started taking flight in my astral life. I've been feeling very, very alive by actually connecting with nature and wanting community now. I just said I'm a very solo type person, but I think what's missing is community. I've been having community in my dreams, which has been really interesting. Others are teaching me, I'm teaching them. I'm trying to find it in my waking life. I actually feel real power in my solar plexus when I'm with a community, with like minded people. So that's been an interesting venture. So just feeling extremely conscious lately, having waves of gratitude and wanting to pray. I used to have to force myself to think of things I was thankful for every day. Actually, this is something very personal about me, but when I was a teenager, I didn't have a future for myself. I was so abused that I was just living day to day. The only reason why I went to college was because it was an English assignment to submit to colleges. You're supposed to submit to 2 colleges, and I got into those colleges, but otherwise I would have never cared. I didn't have a purpose. I didn't have any connection. But now my purpose was to escape from this earth astrally. But now I'm finding so much connection with trying to connect with the earth. So I really recommend that if you're trying to learn how to lucid dream more. Go out in the earth, meditate, go inside yourself while going outside into the natural world where you can escape from Wi-Fi. Oh, forgot about this part. I bought this set from Mitch, the Oregon donor, and Orgonite prevents waves, electric signals from harming you. It transforms all of the energy around you into something that is not harmful. So I feel like that has been freeing my spirit to travel more and to experience more wonderful dreams. So check that out as well. All right, I feel like I've talked a lot, but that's everything that's been going on with me. If you guys try any of these vitamins, I want to hear your experiences. If you have any feedback at all, I'd love to hear them as well. Thanks for listening, you guys.